The Guns on Pegs podcast is brought to you by ITAP Group. Hello and welcome to the Guns on Pegs podcast. My name is George Brown and I am joined today by...
Avian in, we've had a touch of snow, but it's not really snowy, cold Cornwall.
It's Jake here in Suffolk and we're waiting for the snow.
And it is Sam in cold Devon. No snow at all. A little shower of rain this morning and that's it.
No snow at all. Oh, very nice. Well, Happy New Year, gentlemen.
Happy New Year.
Yes, Happy New Year.
And to you. And to you. Was it a good one?
It was very nice. The best bit about the whole thing was that we had New Year's Eve at my brother and sister-in-law's, and on Tuesday afternoon I received a text message that said, "Would your children like to stay the night?"
Wow.
So I started the new year with a proper lie-in. I didn't get out of bed until 9 a.m. And let me tell you, there was a moment in my life when that would have been considered an early start to the day.
How many years ago was that, George?
About 15.
Yeah.
That's better than a royal pardon and a get-out-of-jail-free card, isn't it?
Yeah. I felt like I'd been hit with a sandbag. It was quite... Yeah. My body didn't know what had happened to it. But yes, it was lovely. You guys bring in the new year in style?
No, I was in bed by 9:30.
I was in bed by 10.
I was trying to go to bed at 10, but Claire and Yvonne decided that they had to stay up to watch the fireworks. So we were exposed to the finest entertainment the BBC could offer, which was terrible. And Sadiq Khan's weather messages and how we should all hold hands and have a lovely time. So, yeah, I went to bed at 12:01, had enough by then.
Lovely.
Well, at least one of us was flying the flag.
Yes, I did my best, although it was the Euro flag, strangely.
I drove to work on New Year's Day morning, incredibly smug. It was 7:10 and no hangover, decent night's sleep. Florence got the message, and that's, I reckon, the first New Year's in probably since I was 18 that I haven't had a hangover. Or just rolling from one party and going straight to work. There is that possibility as well, chaps. So, I felt very smug, very smug.
Good. Well, let's start the new year as we mean to continue. And I'm going to ask Jake, what's that you're drinking?
Right. Okay. Well, I'm going to break with tradition and not drink in January. So I got given probably the most crappiest Christmas present, which was the Guinness Nitro can.
Oh, no.
Oh, my God. So I'm just going to turn it on. You chaps can see it.
It's the first time I've ever seen anyone turn on their beer.
Yes.
It looks like a breathalyzer. A Guinness branded breathalyzer.
It does.
Well, well played. Guinness is what I can say, is because it's 30 quid for the little gadget on top, apparently. This was a gift from my son, the eldest, not the middle one. And you've got to buy their particular cans. People that have used it I've also got a glass which I've stolen. Permanently borrowed.
Borrowed.
Sorry.
Yes.
Not stolen. We don't do that.
You're like the British Museum.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's exactly it. So, chaps, you can see. What do you think, lads? I mean, at the moment, I'm doing it backhanded, pouring as it's asking. Anyway, that's just doing its thing. We're just going to let that kind of do its bits and pieces. So, chaps, I'm on a Guinness. But while that settles itself,
Jake, I'm just delighted that you've gone into 2026 holding up the firm tradition of having visual gags for an audio medium yet again.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, so don't you worry about that. But you guys have
radio.
seen it. It's right. But then what I am going to do is, while that's settling and doing its 118 seconds worth of TikTok, Mount Garrett, lads. When we went up there last month, which seems ages ago, I lent my gun to one of the most noble order, the Garters, and in a kind of a gesture of goodwill and thanks, he sent me this bottle of Turkish Delight gin-based liqueur to thank me for the use of my Turkish Delight 12 ball.
He obviously didn't like the gun.
No, he didn't hit anything, did he?
But I tell you what, he did shoot incredibly well. So anyway, this is a Turkish Turkish gin. I haven't had one yet. Liqueur. I've got fears for this one. I'm just going to let you know.
Took a big old swig of it. Blimey.
Holy crap. That smells and tastes like papuri that was in your nan's knicker drawer. That's not good.
What were you doing in your nan's knicker drawer?
Anyway, chaps, here's to a Guinness. Happy New Year to everyone, all our listeners and what have you, and here's to a great 2026.
Very good.
Cheers.
Sam, how about you?
I'm going to play a little guessing game with you boys. I've got a drink that has been made in Devon for about 150 years. It's got some various nicknames, so buzz in when you recognise what it is. Commotion Lotion.
Oh, brilliant. Start to mean to go on, right?
Cumbernauld Rocket Fuel.
Right.
Mrs. Brown.
I think this may be a pure Devonian, but I'm really enjoying the nicknames.
Wreck the Hoose Juice.
Wait, and you're saying that this is made in Devon?
So it's made in Devon, but I believe it.
Hang
I was
on,
introduced to it by an Irish fella, but it is consumed
It doesn't have
largely
monks
in
involved, does it? It's not Buckfast wine.
It is Buckfast wine, Charles.
You're on a bucky. Yes!
Tonic wine. Start 2026 as you mean to go on with a
Dear God.
15% high caffeine. I'm going to be shaking by the time I drink this.
Or living in a bin.
This was a crap Christmas present from my dad because he remembers quite a few years ago, an Irish mate who I used to work with when he was over here, and their favourite thing is Buckfast. It has to be, it's a chaser with every pint you have to have a Buckfast as well. So this is going to bring back some memories. Cheers, boys.
Dear God.
Crikey. Well, it's been fairly poor so far. Avian, can you rescue the situation? What's that you're
I
drinking?
can't, George. I've gone completely off-piste. I'm having a cup of tea because I decided run up to Christmas that I'd have a look at that NHS app that you can plug in your bits. And I'm not going to do a dry January by any stretch of the imagination, but sort of throttle back a little bit. And I've spent most of Christmas, it keeps sending you like little push messages saying, is this one of your no drinking days? And I've had to say, no, maybe tomorrow. So I thought I'd give it a rest. We've seen last of our guests off this morning. So yes, I'm having a cup of builder's tea and I'll try and be good, but I just can't cope with what the other boys are drinking. George, what about you? Your turn to rescue us.
Well, I don't know if I can or not. It seems to be dividing opinion, this one. Just before Christmas, Misha and the kids and I were invited up to shoot with Jake at Branches Park, and we had a very nice time. Lots of other Garter members present. Really, really nice time. And as a parting gift, Jake handed me a bottle of his wife Laura's Shade Oak Honey Artisan Gin Liqueur, which I think is made with the honeycomb, I'm right in saying, aren't I, Jake?
Yeah, you're correct, mate.
So I tried some the night before, and I thought it was rather good. Some other people round the table did not agree that it was rather good. And so I conducted a bit of an experiment on our Boxing Day armed walk at home. And I can say that one of my brothers declared it undrinkable. The other one turned down the opportunity to try some, and my brother-in-law made a face. But I quite enjoy it. I think it's quite good.
Well, I think in that case, there's more for you, isn't there?
It is, yes, exactly. Yeah. I shan't be sharing it. But as discussed that evening, I think it would be rather good with ginger ale. But I've yet to purchase any ginger ale to give it a try with. But yeah, I think it's rather nice.
Well, I shall let the boss know. I think it's going to be very good for medicinal purposes when people are ill and hot toddies and that type of thing. It's it's alcohol on alcohol. It's honey and
not seeing a problem so far.
I'm not, but you're George. It's very much the same. Anywhere it's been tried, it splits a room.
Mixed reviews.
50-50. The jury's out.
I think it probably benefits from a mixer rather than
agreed.
than neat,
Agreed.
Which is how I've got it at the moment.
How did you get on your Boxing Day armed walk?
We had a very nice time. I think we shot 14.
Oh, nice.
Very good.
Which is pretty good. Yeah, it was great. Very brisk, very chilly, but good to get out and blow the cobwebs out, That's the main purpose.
Walk off that turkey.
You say walk off the turkey, but then we all went home and had another enormous meal.
Which you'd have had anyway. So you've had the walk.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Speaking of which, did it turn out that you boys have been good? Did Father Christmas come and visit you?
So.
Cole?
No, not Colv on this end.
All would be quite good before they ban it.
Yeah.
Sam, what did Father Christmas bring you, mate?
I got a very nice personalised, and I was going to ask you on your opinion of this one. A wooden whiskey. It's not a glass, I suppose. It's a cup, but an oak wooden whiskey drinking
Vessel.
Apparatus. Vessel.
Yes.
That's a better word.
That sounds quite cool.
That's
So
sort
it
of
is hand-turned sort of thing.
Hand turned. It's a square one, and it's got a little message on from my girls on it, which is very nice.
That's lovely.
So yeah, I've used it. It definitely works.
So the longer you leave it in the vessel, does the dram you've poured get slightly better, or?
They reckon that over time, drinking different whiskies, it picks up different flavors, and
Oh,
Yeah, it would.
no, that's quite interesting. Yes.
Develop a patina.
yes.
You'd sort of condition it, wouldn't you?
That's it.
Yeah.
Well, that's
So,
definitely worth a try. I think fire as many whiskies into it as possible, but not. What was that special one you told me you got for Christmas? There was a little bottle, wasn't it, that all whiskey lovers. It came from across the pond, I think, didn't it?
Oh, I got somebody I know knows that I like a whiskey, and bless her, she bought me a beautiful bottle of Jack Daniels, which
It's a thought that counts, and
it's the
I'm
thought
sure
that
she's
counts. It is the thought that
incredibly.
counts. They got the spelling of whiskey wrong because Jack Daniels starts with
It does
a B.
cut through those greasy pans, though, doesn't it?
It does. It'll be one to have with an Irish coffee in the morning, I think, rather than put it in my nice new wooden whiskey vessel.
You'll be looking for that at 1 a.m. when no good comes of staying up at 1 a.m. and you'll be like, what else have I got in the cupboard? Jack Daniels, here we go.
There we go.
Toilet
There we
duck.
go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Jake, how about you? What did Father Christmas bless you with a shooting themed gift, perhaps?
Yeah, he did actually. Not only did Father Christmas bring me 20 silver drinking vessels from the fine shooting accessories. Really nice.
Wow,
Very
you
cool.
really have been good.
Bloody
Yeah,
hell.
but seriously good, and they're really smart. So Mr. Dogs on Pegs himself had some, and we were shooting back, I think early November, and I just happened to say, how good would these be? And Father Christmas heard that, which was epic, and they turned up just in time. But then equally, my mum bought me the most stunning gift. Now, I might say this wrong, so I apologise to our Scottish friends, but after Mum went back and retraced our lineage, she found that we hailed from the Isle of Barra many, many centuries ago, and we're part of the Nicholson clan. Now, Mum, over time, you'll see me out shooting. I wear a tartan tie, and that's our clan, not tweed. Help me out, chaps. Tartan. From that, Mum has given me, and if I hopefully get this wrong, a sciadw, which is the knife that is worn in the socks of when you wear your formal kilt.
Oh, that's very cool.
Well, it's really cool, isn't it? And, I'm incredibly proud Englishman, and I've got a lot of Scottish friends. And, for 364 days of the year, apart from the Calcutta Cup, I'm really quite friendly with the Scots. But what I would say is that, Mum went into the history and how to wear it. Because I'm left-handed, it goes in my left sock, and she thought, well, I'm wearing socks and garters and breeks +4s, but I could put that in there. However, I think I've bamboozled, foiled the bamboozle of my mum, and she is going to be getting me. I've got a feeling over the next couple of Christmas and birthdays, a full kilt.
We look forward to a kilt, if that's the right phrase.
But just a lovely gift. I was really good. Father Christmas was spot on, and turned up at our house. Also got Toby a Meta VR headset, which Father Christmas has possibly got wrong, because now we've had dogs and children
Only fits
hit. No, it doesn't fit me. It's awful. It's really weird. But we've had broken bowls. We've had no spatial awareness. The dogs have been hit. His baby sister's been hit round the head. We've had one of his friends throw themselves on the floor because they thought they were falling. Chaps, I promise you, it's been one of those Christmases.
Is that the one where you can get the game? Is it game? GAIM?
Yes.
The rifle
one. So I've got one of those. I've destroyed many lampshades with that thing.
Yeah.
Have you? Excellent.
It's quite addictive.
But I mean, but the knife, Jake, that's fantastic. I mean,
yes,
I always think it's one of those things. So I, on all shoot days, just carry a little pocket knife, a little folding pocket knife, because you never quite know what you might need it for.
Agreed.
And it just lives in my shooting coat. Now, the only problem I have there is that it is more or less the size and shape of a cartridge.
Yeah. The same with old Clipper lighters, wasn't it?
So I would say that keeping your knife in your sock is rather a good idea, but it does mean that you'll be able to be that sort of Boy Scout, always ready, to free somebody from the barbed wire or whatever it is.
I could do my best David Hasselhoff impression running up the side of a game cover instead of jumping off a boat. Don't hassle the wolf.
You're not going to be caught by all those petty rules on blade size because it's ceremonial, isn't it? So a bit like the Gurkhas, you can have an over 3-incher if you so fancy.
Well,
there
we go. Right, who else was good? Avian, after that comment, I'm not so sure you've been good, but buddy, what did Father Christmas bring you, mate?
I certainly wasn't good, but obviously he was concentrating too hard on what you needed, and I got a buy. No, I have joined the Yeti generation finally. Claire very kindly got me a coffee mug for the field.
Perfect.
So I'm absolutely delighted with that. So no lukewarm tea halfway to the shoot from now on. And I bought myself one of those 360-degree cameras.
Oh, they're very cool and weird. I don't really understand how they're work.
Baffling, but I'm slowly getting to grips with it. And actually, you can do some really, really cool things with it if you've got more time on your hands than the history of the universe to work out how to do it. But keep an eye on the videos because there'll be some rather mind-bending angles coming up. Having a play with it. It's a bloody cool thing. But don't drop it because apparently you can't replace the lenses if you scratch them. You've got to start all over again.
Which one did you go with, mate? Did you keep it to brand?
I stuck with the DJI because everything else is DJI. But hopefully the UK government won't follow the Americans and ban it all.
That's exactly it. But that films in 8K as well, doesn't it, that one? That's their latest model. And
yes.
I've been geeking out as to which one do I go and buy. And I think I'm swaying towards the DJI as well.
Next time we catch up, you can have a play with it and point 100%. Me in the right direction. But I have discovered, and that's that I bought myself a new toy as well, a new Mac. So if you're using 8K files, it's a bit power hungry.
Oh dear. Well, yeah, that's very cool. I should look forward to seeing the results of that. Yeah, cool.
And what about you, George? Did Father Christmas find you down there in deepest, darkest Hampshire?
He did. I had to answer some slightly awkward questions about Father Christmas this year. Not that the kids don't believe in him, but they did want to know how it is that he gets into our house down the chimney that we don't have. And I had to explain that he comes in through the tumble dryer.
Okay. Quick thinking.
But no, I had a very smart new pair of shooting gloves from my sister, which they are really, really good. I shoot in gloves all the time. It's sort of part of my wanting to keep everything all the same always. So even in sort of a warm September day, I wear shooting gloves just to keep the variables to a minimum. I also got some very nice knives, as it happens. Misha gave me some very fancy sort of Japanese kitchen knives, which I'm learning to use. One of them's got this very, our European sort of chef's knives have got that curve to the blade so that you can rock chop. This is completely flat. So I'm having to sort of completely straight blade. So I'm having to learn how to do that very chefy tap chop.
Yes, you're going to have to get some very flat chopping boards as well, aren't you? Because
very flat chopping boards and possibly also some chainmail gloves.
I was going to say you won't have any fingers left.
Yeah, how are the fingernails?
Shorter.
You boys have had knives gifted. Do any of you follow the old superstition that you have, if somebody gives you a knife, you have to give them a coin?
Oh.
So because it's bad luck to gift a knife, but if you pass somebody a coin, you've effectively bought them and it breaks the bad luck.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Ooh, didn't know that.
So there you go. Give your mum 20p.
No, I bought her Ryanair vouchers so she could come over and see us a little bit more in 2026. So I think I've broken that. I'm such a good son for birthday and Christmas presents. I'm so original. But yeah, I didn't know that, Ave. That's another superstition. Thanks for ruining that one.
That's quite all right. There's loads more where that came from. Ruining Christmas one day at a time.
Some of us just win knives, don't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was great fun. So yes, on Field Sports, they do their Field Sports Extra for the supporters, and they give away some quite good stuff there, to be honest, every week. And you just put the secret word down in the comments, and bugger me, I got picked, and I've won a rather nice woodsman's knife, handmade with the Field Sports logo on it for some reason, but it's a beautiful thing.
Fantastic.
Looking forward to getting some use out of it.
Yeah, that's great. It'd be very good for all your little odd jobs down in the woods.
Absolutely, and a bit like your Japanese knives, I'm bound to take the edge of my thumb off with it first time out.
Yeah.
Very good. Well, speaking of good behaviour, I thought we would take a little bit of a leaf out of the Country Slide Boys book and just hand out a few awards. We're not going to go the full New Year's honours, but I thought it would be quite a good idea just to recognise a few people from within the Guns on Pegs podcast extended universe for some of their above and beyond activities.
Excellent.
So, Avian, I think you have got a nomination first of all.
I have, and I think this is, from my point of view, extremely well earned. She's been exceptionally patient with my fumblings and mumblings over on Shoot Hub. She's an extremely good egg, definitely a force to be reckoned with. Whenever I go over and do the Shoot Hub podcast, I'm on my best behaviour because she's very professional and does it all properly, unlike us rambling shower of shit over here. And it is the one, the only Gemma Raymond. I think it's time we bestowed her with her garters.
Well, I couldn't agree more. Hear, hear.
Good shout.
Well
Good
done,
shout.
Gemma. Yeah, definitely epic kind of Shoot Hub podcast, and also that point of call as someone who has shooting to sell on Guns on Pegs.
Absolutely.
Gemma's always at the end of the phone as well, so she goes above and beyond for podcasting and her job as well. She's epic.
Oh, well, and I think it's been really nice to see her grow as a podcaster.
Yes.
I think she probably won't mind me saying, I hope she won't mind me saying that when she first started out, she was fairly nervous about taking it on, but she's really grown into it. And I think the pair of you together do a fantastic job on it. So highly, richly deserved garters.
It's all Gemma led, trust me. But I think since you put your hand in your pocket and bought her a decent microphone, it's helped her no end.
Yes, that has helped.
But she's a star, and I'm looking forward to doing more pods with her this year.
Excellent. Right, I'm going to go next, and I am going to award a spotty cap to existing member of the Most Noble Order of the Garters, James.
Yes.
Now, James is an enormous supporter of the podcast, first and foremost. He was the one behind the Shooting Heroes award that we did at the Game Fair a couple of years ago.
Yes.
But this is not why I'm giving him a spotty cap. I'm giving him a spotty cap for two reasons. The first of which is driving me all the way to Mount Garrett and back again.
And back, yes.
Yeah. In extremely challenging conditions on both occasions. But also for bringing with him in the car an absolutely vast bottle of red wine, which helped to get the whole Order of the Garters shoot day off on the right foot the evening before, and was extremely generous of him to bring. So that is a spotty cap for James.
Well done, James. I mean, it was some bottle, though, wasn't it? What's it?
It's
5 litres.
A Jeroboam.
That's it. And they were very good there at the hotel as well, weren't they? Because there wasn't a charge for corkage.
There's no corkage charge. That was good of them. I was trying to work out whether it was a Jeroboam or not, and it turns out that the French have different versions of what a Jeroboam is.
Yes.
Which is very French of them. So
don't they do French kings, whereas the British standard is more biblical?
Oh, now you've reached the edge of my knowledge there.
I'm groping in the dark a little bit, which the judge told me I should never do again. But it is about wine bottle sizes, so it's allowed. But no,
Can I just say, hang on a minute. Sam and I are on this video, just looking at each other like, what is going on?
Shook my head and took a big gulp of Buckfast. That's how bad it is. Jesus.
Right, moving on. The next awards. Samuel, have you got another award for us?
Yes, I think already member of the most noble order should be promoted to Spotty Cap is Angus.
Yes.
For not just building one Order of the Garter's bar, but he's built two now. We were presented with Mark II at Mount Garrett because it fits into his new car. That's it.
Perfect.
And actually thinking about it, Angus paid a fine at the end of the day because he wore more than one hat.
Yes.
So hopefully, if we present him with a Spotty hat, he will stick to one throughout the shoot day, and it'll save him a fine in the future.
That's very good. I like that a lot.
He also made the plaque as well.
Yes.
So if you look at the Most Noble Order of the Garter, kind of not quite sure if the Latin's correct for it, honor of flag and everything like that. The middle there and seen on the bar was handmade by Angus as well. So, I mean, bim, old boy, because he's done a really good job there. Yeah, he is. He's pretty good. And he's also very good at making other things like garments. His waistcoat, he made himself. He can turn his hand to quite a few things. Yeah. Stick making. He's
also
pretty cool
very
guy.
good at standing behind the bar and making sure everyone gets something. So,
that's why we like him. Yeah, definitely.
Very good. And last of all?
So we couldn't really carry on without giving the awards to Mr. Digby Taylor himself for services. I don't know, chaps. I mean,
services to being tall and ginger.
Yes,
as a good colleague
and sporting some alarming short shorts.
Yeah, they are really short shorts, aren't they? I thought I wore short shorts, but he does. So I think it's fair to say that Diggers has been behind yourself, George, and Chris from the start, from that first episode. And this is a really good way to say thank you to him, because he's been to Morocco with you. He's been on other shoot day locations with you, all for the podcast. So he's really working hard when he's on those lovely trips to Morocco.
It's a tough life for him. I think he's a real support for the podcast. He steps into the breach when Chris or I are unavailable. Yeah. He's supported, the continuation of the podcast, and helped us to just keep the show on the road, really.
Massively.
He's been a great cider mentor for me.
And for me, he makes it, the Order of the Garter shoot days wouldn't go and happen without the behind the scenes work when I'm talking to Digby in February, March for hosting the next one, So, we take the mick, Diggers, but, thank you.
Here.
So you'll all be in receipt of your Spotty hats and garters 2027. Right.
Very good. The Guns on Pegs podcast is sponsored by Game Ball Black Gold UER.
And it's January, and as we all know, January pheasants take a bit of stopping, especially with you in charge of the gun, George.
Oh, thanks. Get that in. Yeah, that's right. They're stronger, they're wilier, they know the score, they're harder flying, and that's why lots of guns actually look forward to January days for that extra challenge.
So to give you the best chance and make sure you get the most out of these back-end days, you need a cartridge that's obviously up to the job.
And that is where the latest addition to Game Ball's range of market-leading game cartridges comes in, Black Gold Game UER.
Game Ball's R&D team have worked tirelessly to improve upon the hugely popular Black Gold game loads. They've analysed every last detail to identify the qualities that could be improved even more, and therefore incorporating the most technologically advanced components they've ever deployed.
UER stands for Ultra Extended Range, and they're developed for downrange speed and efficacy without excessive pressures and recoil, making them the perfect choice for those tricky late-season birds and high bird days.
So to find out more, visit gameball.com, or to get hold of some UER for yourself, ask your local gun dealer or visit justcartridges.com and have them sent to your door.
Right.
Moving on.
Well, moving on, and literally moving on. 2025 has been a bit of a weird year in the countryside, I thought. Dodgy grouse yet again. Drought has presented some challenges, but equally, I think the grey partridge have had a fantastic year. We've had one of our best years here on the shoot at home. And then it was all sort of rounded off by that sort of family farm tax climb down just before Christmas, tempered with an interesting animal rights bill and the threat, not threat, but some things looming So looking ahead to 2026, I just thought, what are we hoping for? And perhaps with adding a bit more agency to it, what can we do to try and make those things happen? Is an interesting question.
Well, hopefully the Labour government do more U-turns on other things that they've announced in the same way they did on the family farm tax. But let's not talk politics.
Well, I was going to say, we've got to try and keep this reasonably light because we're not a politics podcast.
We're not.
No.
Not.
That being said, I think there is one thing that we've not spoken about yet, and I think we probably ought to.
Well, I think if I could just sort of not bring it down in tone too much, but there does seem to be a bit of a mood coming from some of the experts behind the supporting ground nesting birds, and that it does seem as if there is a little bit of a shift now to accepting that management and control of predators and mesopredators in the environment is something we have to get to grips with, and that voice seems to be growing a little bit. So my big hope for the year is that a little bit of that common sense prevails, and in the ideal world we'd broadly be left alone a little bit. But I think what George is alluding to is there is kind of a bit of a monster coming over the hill, which is the current bit of consultation that's coming through. The government seem hell-bent on merging Section 1 firearms and Section 2 shotgun regulations.
Yeah.
And this could cause all sorts of problems. Without wishing to go too deeply into it, I think that the key areas of concern are, first of all, it puts a massive burden on the police in terms of just managing the workload they've already got. Because for those who aren't familiar with firearms licenses under Section 1, they are far more detailed, quite rightly, than shotgun certificates. So you get into the realms of needing further referees. The ground you use has to be approved. The way guns and firearms are bought and sold changes. The way ammunition is stored changes. And it just produces a massive burden. But I think for me, the other issue is it becomes a massive barrier to people, particularly young people, getting involved with our sport.
Yeah.
And I think we need to push back as hard as we can. So, I mean, I'm not a big fan of the parliamentary petitions. I think quite often it's a way for whichever government is in power to say, well, you've had your say, but we're going to do what we want anyway. However, there is whoever hasn't done it yet, if you go to petitionparliament.uk, there's a petition up there at the moment, which is just simply titled, "Do not merge Section 1 and 2 regulations on firearms licenses." It's currently gone through the 100,000 signatories, by which point it may be considered for debate in Parliament. There's currently just shy of 113,000 signatures on there. So I'd encourage everybody, you can get to it through either Google Petition Parliament, go through the Basque website, GWCT have got some good comments on there, and have a look at what the implications may be, and strongly consider putting your name to it. The other thing all the organisations are strongly urging us to do is to write to our MP. And I think rather than a standard form letter, they seem to be asking for people to write a more personal note. I've done one to our local MP, Ben Maguire, and really just lay out what it means to you, why it's important to your community and you personally and you locally, and really just get the voice out there and say this solves nothing. It doesn't by itself improve public safety. It isn't something that is going to radically improve access to firearms and make sure everybody is safer and the general public are safer. It just adds layers of bureaucracy, layers of form filling, vast expense, and to the detriment of the sport, the industry, all of us who look after the wildlife and
the wildlife itself ultimately will suffer, and farmers will suffer. If people can't go and shoot pigeons or shoot crows or those sort of things. We don't do politics on this podcast. This does strike me as a policy which is well-intentioned, or policy proposal which is well-intentioned, yet extremely misguided.
Yes.
Because the solution to safer firearms management in the UK isn't to put more burdens on local police forces like this. The solution is, as Tim Bonner highlighted when he came on the podcast a little while ago, is actually a complete overhaul and centralization of firearms licensing in general, in the manner of the DVLA, where everything is standardized and operates in the same way and doesn't get sort of, chucked off into a back office when and given whatever budget happens to be left over at the end. So it's one I think we can all get behind as a campaign there.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, I'm just going to interject there and say that everyone that's listening to this podcast is going to have signed that petition 100%. But now it's your responsibility to all our listeners and to all our friends and family to get it out there to shoot day briefings. We've got 1 month left. Let's make sure that when we're talking about, no ground game, anything in season, this and that and that and this, and don't shoot a beta, please.
Unless you've got some good recipes.
Let's put it back and let's put it back into the thing where go out there and speak to the non-shooting guests, speak to all the beaters, ask them, have they signed it? Make a QR code that is available in your shoot room or your TP.
That's a very good idea.
On your gun bus, and say, have you scanned that? It'll take you 2 minutes. By the time we're at the end of the drive, you would have signed your petition. I think it's a Bobby Dazzler.
And it's the thing that I've spoken to people about over the last probably only few weeks, not even a month. And there seems to be an attitude that I'm just one person. Why should I sign it? But at the moment, we've potentially got 480,000 shotgun certificate holders thinking that way, which is why we've only got 113,000 signatures. So we need to kind of break that barrier. And like you say, Jake, get it out there, make it easy for people to do, QR code, whatever, link to it. Even stand there with somebody who doesn't have a internet access. You can do it on your phone, and
do
just
it on your phone with their email.
And do it with their email.
And you just sign in and you verify that email and it's done. It's a simple, it'll find your address for you. But equally ask your wife to do it, your husband to do it, your work colleagues to just go into work and just be like, guys, any chance you can do this petition? It's going to mean nothing to you. It's free. You're just helping. And get it out there and make it fun. And just
on
be like,
Facebook.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about Facebook. I'm not sure. I think Facebook's a wild, wild west.
It is the wild, wild west, but if it's a message out to your friends that say, look, we'd like you to sign this, get it out there. I think the risk is if they turn around and say, well, only 25% of firearms holders were interested in this.
That's the issue, isn't it?
We should be at least half.
The other thing that I think needs highlighting, right, is that the petition is the petition, and I think it's a good way of making our views on this known. But ultimately, the really important moment is when the consultation comes down the line. Yeah. So the signing of this petition is not the end of it. So just because you've signed it, don't think that you've now done your bit, so to speak. That consultation is absolutely the key moment. When that comes out, we really all have to get on it.
We do. And, if you turn up to the game fair and you're asked to help. If you turn up to the races at Ascot or Cheltenham in March or any time like that, and you go to these big country kind of gatherings, bloody well get on it and help. George, you're because we need to support ourselves. Otherwise, we're in a spot of bother. We're going to end up like our guys in the redcoats. So let's sort it out.
Yeah,
have we got a date for the consultation yet, or is it still
it's a proposed consultation. But it's coming.
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that's politics over.
Done and dusted.
For the next 12 months.
Light and frothy. Here we go.
Back to the creamy pints.
Sam, over to you.
So back when we set our shooting goals, I can't remember what episode it was, but it wasn't too long ago. I think it was Jake who had the aim of getting people to eat more game. And we have actually had a letter on that topic from someone we're calling Remy. Good morning, men of the realm. I'm convinced I can convert the world to the wonderful flavours of venison. After many years of slipping juicy venison steak to unsuspecting family members and friends, telling them it's beef due to their initial reluctance to try venison, I've developed a tactic. They devour the dish, praising its taste, and just as they're finishing the last mouthful of what they believe is exquisite beef fillet, I drop the bombshell. You've just eaten Bambi. I watch the cogs turning, and before they can speak, I hit them with the usual sales pitch. It's fully sustainable, healthy, and of course the big one, ethical. So, gents, here's the problem. I've rather enjoyed the pushback and shock factor over the years of getting people hooked on venison. Now, I find myself arriving at where I wanted to be. Everyone I know loves the stuff. At family barbecues, the kids devour all the steaks before we adults get a look in, and the local pub can't get enough of it. I couldn't be happier. The Eat Wild Meat campaign is going great guns. But I don't want to sound like the next Disney villain. What's next? What's in it for me? Where's my next hit? I no longer have to fool or preach. It speaks for itself. Maybe a new challenge. I hear rat is surprisingly tasty and sustainable. Yours truly, once the king of the barbecue, now just the average Joe bringing his venison to the already converted. Remy.
Well, I think when it comes to barbecuing wild meat, we have to defer to George on this one.
Well, I mean, he's already nailed it, you know, and I would say that barbecuing, I think, is the way to go with nearly all wild meat. It's just the sort of spirituality. I've said it so many times before. It sort of feels spiritually right to cook on open flame. But the question is, what's the next step?
The next step
for Remy. I'm not sure I would recommend rat.
Bit of a push,
but I mean,
verminy, aren't they?
The obvious next step is game birds, right?
Yes.
Game birds and further afield, because I think Remy, by the sound of it, has got family and friends and the local pub all hooked on it, and he needs to, you know, he's obviously a good salesman at this, so he needs to push further.
Yeah. But what about if he went to his friends' barbecues? You know, he got his friend who says, right, invite me. I don't know your friends because, you know, let's say it's distant, it's your wife's work colleagues. I'll come along and do a bit of barbecuing. I'll stick on Bambi, wink, wink. Yeah. All of a sudden, they're walking around there with their Venny Bees, even their partridge and pheasant burgers, because I promise you stick one of those on a burger, on a barbecue. In a burger, I promise you, a pheasant and partridge burger in the summer, you won't go back to beef. It's a game changer. So get yourself invited to others and spread it like that is what I would say.
How about, you know, the guys who do extremely well, you can rent the hog roast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What about talking to those sort of guys and saying, have you ever considered
Yeah.
doing the hog roast, but actually starting to bring some boar or some deer or some venison into the mix.
That's a great idea.
That's a good
and
chat.
have it as something special, because we all like a hog roast, but we all know a hog roast. So something a little bit different, a little bit wow factor might be a way of doing it.
Getting it into weddings and those type of events, because everyone has a porky pig for their evening.
Yeah, almost got to go a bit, not wanting to steal Kai's idea too much, but almost go a bit game and flames with it. The trouble with venison on a standard hog roaster is it'll probably dry it out a lot because there's not enough fat. So,
but if you assadoed a roe deer,
that just looks cool anyway, doesn't it?
It really does.
It's show factor, isn't it? It's really cool.
What about? Go on. Here's an idea. So, taking the venerable Cornish pasty, which strictly should only have a limited number of ingredients, none of which involve corn or curry powder or all the other weird stuff they put in them, Stilton and Christ knows what else. But as we have gone down that route, I think venison pasties would be a brilliant addition.
Yeah, very good idea. Or indeed pheasant or partridge.
Brine those properly.
Yeah. I like a pheasant and tarragon pasty would be the nuts.
Oh, hello. Yes.
Now you're talking.
I was going on a diet after Christmas, George. You just buggered that.
Well, actually, I did just want to say, Hugo, he put up a video just before Christmas, I think, where he'd been along to a local shoot and picked up a load of game. And he and his mates, he and a couple of mates spent an hour and a half processing these birds, and he ended up with 37 kilos of pheasant. And he showed the maths for what you'd have to spend in the supermarket on the equivalent amount of chicken, and then what you'd have to spend on supermarket chicken for the equivalent amount of protein. And I watched it and I thought, I don't know why I've been buying chicken. I just feel like such an idiot buying chicken. And then we had up at Branches Park, we had that very good venison sort of stalker's pie on the Monday evening with you guys, Jake, that Laura made, and I thought, I've got kilos of venison trim in the freezer. Why am I buying beef mince? It's just bonkers. And so I've spent one of the things I've done in this sort of weird period between Christmas and New Year is I have butchered 2 muntjac. I have filleted about 40 game birds. My freezer is now absolutely groaning with game. And I've and showing Misha the maths on on how much money you're saving has really that's galvanized her, because she was sort of she would eat pheasant, but with not completely thrilled about it every time. And now she says to me, shall we have pheasant curry on Monday, or that kind of thing? So she's now suggesting it.
Brilliant. And as you are sat, George, with the other 3 nerds of the podcasting world, I think that's something we can really get our teeth into, lads. We can actually do a cost comparison thing and just get it out there. And just start saying, look, because you're absolutely right. At the end of the day, highly processed chicken breasts coming in from Thailand are bland as hell. And they're not cheap anymore. And
chicken has not become cheap anymore.
Not cheap at all. I was at the butchers the other day, and they just, what was it, boneless, skinless chicken thighs, £8 a kilo.
Oh,
good Lord.
You look at it and you just think, well, actually, if you start replacing that, and I think, George, you've hit the nail right on the head there, is start saying, in times where we're all looking at our pocketbook, what a brilliant way to basically cut the cost of your meat intake massively. So we don't.
So you go and get yourself a Morphy Richards mincer, which we've done here. It costs £55 off of that Amazonian place.
Yes.
Then from that, it means that you spend time with Toby or your children or your wife or anything. You're making up patties. Get yourself a burger press. Get yourself now some people do an 80-20. Hugo, I think, suggests either 80-20 or 70-30 mix with pork fats, and you can go and get it from the local butchers. You can just get belly fat as well. Hugo was telling me all about it. Equally, reach out to him. He's always willing to answer questions. Or Leon, they'll help. Those guys are spot on over at Eat Wild. And then mince it, make your own, and do your burgers. You can packet them. You can buy the little cellophane dividers. They're cheap as chips. Guys, you've made your summer barbecues. You've done your winter minces.
Doing that on a Sunday afternoon sounds so much more fun than golf.
I've had such a lovely time, bloody to the elbows, cutting up animals. I've just had a lovely time.
You feel good about it.
I'll tell you what we need to do then is to look at it and say, well, what would be your home butcher's starter kit?
Oh, yeah.
From your knives to your freezer to your packets and bits and bobs.
Good.
And you could do sort of like the entry level, your intermediate, or your
geek,
really going for it.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure if you got a little chest freezer from AO, you're probably looking £100, and then your knives, you probably have an upfront cost of a couple of £100 to get going. And if you then looked at that compared to a family's meat price over the year, the savings, it'll pay for it several times over. And with the savings, you can go on Guns on Pegs and book a day's shooting to restock for the next year.
Or, well, I was going to say, with the savings, you can go and buy your next toy, such as a sausage stuffer, or
if you want to go really cheap, then really cheap but works. I got a mincer and a vac packer from no, not a hammer, mincer and a vac packer, both from the middle of Lidl, which I think are branded Silver Crest or something like that. And they both work absolutely fine. I think the mincer was $19.99 and the vac packer was under £15.
Genius.
I think we're onto something here, guys.
I think we're onto something.
So keep an eye out there.
Yeah, 2026. Let's do it.
I do just want to issue 2 words of warning. One of them to Remy himself and one more general. This phrase, "you've just eaten Bambi." I have used that phrase. When I first got to university, we had a dinner party for everyone in halls. One of my housemates had a friend staying. I put a haunch of venison on the table and went, "Right, everyone, Bambi." And this girl went green, refused to even have gravy on her roast potatoes. It can backfire, that one. The other is that, as we've just established, all of this game prep stuff is a slippery slope. Last night, I was Googling how to make venison bresaola.
Wow.
Turns out I need to make a sort of humidity controlled space in order to do that. Which hasn't stopped me from thinking about whether I'm probably going to do this. But it's just one of those things, I think, where the more of it you do, the more into it you get, and the more toys you end up needing, and that sort of stuff. So approach with caution is what I'm saying. It's quite easy to eat into the savings quite quickly in more ways than one. But it's just really good fun as well. I think it's just a really fun thing to explore. So yes, I think we can all look at this. Do go and check out that video of Hugo's as a way of convincing the unconvinced. That financial angle, I think, is incredibly powerful. And then you combine that with cooking up one of Hugo's recipes, and people are going to struggle to argue with you, I reckon.
Yes. Yeah.
So yes, that's all very good. Now we've been going a little while. Technically, none of us are. Well, no, Jake, you are back at work. Sam, you're a farmer, so you're never not at work.
Yeah.
Avian, you're retired, so you're never at work. But we are still in that sort of betwixtmas period. So I think we will call it a day there. I think it's been a really lovely chat. Nice way to kick off the new year, to look back at the year just gone, recognize some people who've gone on above and beyond for the podcast. I think it's been great.
And I think big thanks to everyone who's participated and written letters and got involved and said hello to us at the game fair and wherever we've met people. It's been wonderful meeting all the listeners and being sort of identified in the motorway service station was a little alarming, but it's fantastic. And to everyone listening, obviously, hope 2026 is a great year for you. And keep in touch, keep writing, keep listening.
Here, I mean,
there is still a few weeks. There is still a few weeks left of the season. So are we not going to do a Grand's Day Out, George?
Oh, we have got a Grand's Day Out. Good
excellent
point. Yes, I did research. I
looked at your research and it looks stunning, so I wouldn't want to miss it.
Yeah, quite.
Yeah, so this is a really good one as well. It would have been a real shame to have missed it off. Studley Royal, I think, is one of the most beautiful shoots on Guns on Pegs. Back when I was doing all the articles, it was regularly kind of top of the list for, quite high up the list at any rate, for most inquired to, most searched for, that sort of thing. And I think in no small part due to the fact that it is so beautiful. So this is 150 bird pheasant day with no overages on the 20th or the 21st of Jan. Both days have got a couple of pegs left. It's £870 a peg. Bring your own lunch. But, this is a shoot with proper heritage. It was the seat of the Marquess of Ripon. It's now a UNESCO World Heritage Site. You're shooting, if you're there on the right day, with the ruined abbey as a backdrop to the drive. Fantastic. Or standing in front of the ornamental lake in the very manicured water gardens,
or standing on the island in the lake, as one of the pictures shows. It just looks beautiful.
It looks amazing.
Absolutely phenomenal looking place. I've never had the privilege of shooting there, but it's, one of those ones that is on my list to see. And I'm told, I don't know if you remember this, but Digby went and did a sort of magical mystery tour with Ineos back in the day.
Yeah, that was cool.
And I think it was one of the places he visited there, and you can see the Marquess of Ripon's game book and some of his sort of African hunting trophies and all this sort of stuff. So I think it's a pretty special place, and it's an opportunity not to be missed. So yes, I think that's one that were I not busy that week, I'd be snapping up.
I mean, I'm just looking at the pictures of it, it's just fantastic. And I think I'd love to. I can't afford to go now because my wall's fallen down, but it would be lovely to go and shoot amongst somebody else's fallen down walls.
Yeah, did you want to just give us the saga of the wall? What exactly happens to your wall?
So, down where we live in Tintagel, years ago, we bought a little car park, which has allowed me to basically sit on my backside for the last few months. But the little retaining wall, I say little, it's 8 meters tall and 400 meters long. over the years has sadly succumbed to the ravages of ivy and Cornish weather. And at 10 minutes past 3 on the 15th of December, it all fell down. Now, unfortunately, we've got a house on top of it. So I have spent most of December, and I'm looking forward to a joyous January of dealing with Cormac engineers and Cornwall Council engineers and design engineers and structural engineers, builders, you name it, insurance, loss adjusters, underwriters, all the rest of it. So, yeah.
What fun.
What
Ouch.
fun. I've got about
Ouch.
2,000 tons of cut stone in a heap where it shouldn't be.
You could do with a day at Studley Royal just to forget all about that.
Well, it's
Would
funny
be
if you just want to drive up on the 21st, we could do that. Then we could go. We have got a trip on the 22nd. We are meeting each other on the 22nd. We could do a bit of a round the country. Fancy it, boys?
Might be a bit
I definitely
ambitious,
fancy
but,
it.
I fancy it. Yeah.
Consulting my NHS app, unfortunately, I don't think I could even sell a kidney to do it.
One not very careful owner.
Yes.
Great. Well, yeah. So if you do happen to have a bit of spare shooting budget left over, and you can make one of those days on the 20th or the 21st,
that's a stunner.
don't miss out on that opportunity. Is my suggestion.
100%.
Right, boys. Before we go, all that remains for me to say is that there's a final reminder that you can get your hands on a pair of the very exclusive Guns on Pegs podcast shooting sock garters by sending us your shooting dilemmas for us to resolve, sharing your unpopular opinions, your forgotten drives, your podcast suggestions, any of that sort of thing. If you do, and we read it out in any future episode, we will send you some garters, and you will get access to the Most Noble Order of the Garters WhatsApp group and a free year of Guns on Pegs Premium, which gives you access to discounted days and the early bird offers and the what are they called, sealed bids, which are incredibly popular and excellent.
And the new Clay's Day as well.
Oh yeah, and Clay Days, the new sim shooting website from Guns on Pegs. More on that in the not too distant future, I think. So if we do use it, we will send you some garters and all that lovely stuff. Drop us an email to pod@gunsonpegs.com. But for now, that's your lot. Chris and I will be back in a couple of weeks' time. But until then, thanks very much for listening. Happy New Year and goodbye.